Hello and welcome to my channel. I got Happy Mail from Sandra. Yay! It was a Christmas card. Look how cute it is. It's a logo drawing from the Paint and Painterly Studio. Oh, I can't even say it correct. And then she sent me an, oh my god, it really made a lot of thoughts in my mind what I'm gonna use this for. It's a tissue where you can see if you're into paper dolls, it's just perfect because you got die cuts of the dress and all the parts that the dress is made out of, and even her hairpiece and what she's holding in her hand and her sleeves and her lace, and this is the full doll. So yeah, it's just super precious. It's from Stamperia, Carta di Riso. Oh, it's just rice paper. Is it called something special? Let's see. Yolande. Can I get it up? Yolande. But oh my god, have you seen anything like this before? Sorry about the glare. I don't want to take it out because I'm so clumsy, you know, so I'm just gonna get it spotted. So, oh, love it a lot. Thank you so much, Sandra. It arrived a little bit late, but it's not your fault. It's, you know, our postal system here in Denmark is like super slow. So today is going to be about this cowboy here. I am getting closer and closer to put a cowboy on a horse. Now we got the saddle. We got him in the saddle, right? So I just need a little bit more practicing by doing the horse itself. But this is the expression I chose to go for, this weathered out, gray, dusty, I want to say dirty looking, but I don't want anyone to misunderstand. I'm just going for that, you know, the hard-working, high chaparral cowboy type, you know, so that's why he's so like grungy. And I really had in mind that I would, with a craft knife, scrape more to make it more like textured, but I dare not scrape because this paper is not accepting the scraping well, so it comes off like I can't really predict how it's gonna come off. Some papers are awesome for scraping, some are not. But yeah, now comes sped up with a voiceover. We love my voiceovers, right? So, but seriously, I can't do this in real life because it takes so long time. So, a sped up is the way to go. Maybe like this. I don't know. There's something a little bit off with the values. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, I'm probably gonna talk about this box on my voiceover. It was the Christmas gift from my hubby, where in the lid I got colored pencils, pencil sharpeners, and 2 HB pencils. And then originally it came with a different set of oil pastels and watercolor, but I kind of got a little bit annoyed with the chalky watercolors, so I just poked them out and refilled them with Paul Rubens 24 tube set. I think it's called the floral set. Not sure, but it's Paul Rubens paint, so it's okay. And then I replaced the oil pastels with some little bit more creamier pastel sticks from the brand Guitar Oil Pastel. And then I of course saved the original ones that came in with this set, because you know I can't really ditch an art project or an art supply. But there are a little bit like wax crayons. They're like little like plastic, you know, so I make horrible art with them. I'm not able to learn how to layer with them well, so instead of getting annoyed using them, I'm just saving them for one day where I might want to melt them instead. And the pull-out drawer, looking like this. I chose to also ditch the acrylic paint, and those tubes I threw out. They they were just not pleasant to work with. So instead I put in my gouache tubes. So hopefully I will now mix my gouache with my watercolors more, since they're really easy to grab for in this box. And I kept the pastel sticks in here because they are so yummy. They are like really nice to work with, and now they're like clean and pristine, so I'm enjoying that until, you know, I'm rough on my supplies, right? So as long as they can stay like clean and pristine, I really am enjoying that. So yeah, but I love this wooden box. It just sparks joy opening it. And I think the next cowboy that I'm gonna work on is going to be where I do some kind of gouache watercolor underpainting and then try making something with these oil pastels. I cleaned them out on a piece of paper. They were like really what's it called, contaminated with other colors, and I simply just took a clean piece of paper and start scrubbing out all the residue from other pastels. So, but I clearly get the picture. This is actually how I should store my oil pastels, and not in a container where they're all, you know, clashed up together one another, because I can see, you know, why it's so much more nicer to have them separated out. So yeah, lesson learned. You know, my Sennelier oils pastel sticks, I keep them just in one tray. So now I'm kind of regretting that I threw out the packaging, because I want to set them up like this. So yeah, just giving you a little blah 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 on my how I store my things. I found the reference photo by googling, and then I looked at everything like Lonesome Dove, High Chaparral, also some John Wayne westerns, and then I stumbled about, you know, Robert Duvall, and I was thinking, oh, he is so cool as a cowboy. So I found a picture actually of Robert Duvall, and then, you know, when I start sketching, it doesn't really come out like him, but it was a good reference, you know, to just look at his picture. And then I kind of wanted to go for that dusty grayish look, but I ended up doing the background much greener, because I think it was a little bit boring to look at. It was just like it was fading out, or maybe I just painted too long in dusty middle tone colors. I don't know. I definitely think that it was a better call to darken up the background instead of adding more black value inside the drawing itself. So yeah, but it's one of those things where I did the voiceover, and then I was looking at the finished result through the camera, and then I could see it with new fresh eyes. So yeah, but it's a joy painting these cowboys. I think it's a nice break from the pretty girls. So I'm really infatuated about the whole theme, and you know, like they have dusty clothes, not haute couture, you know. So you can do a lot of wet washes and mixing directly on the paper, and I think that intrigues me a lot. I really like it a lot. Also, the reason why I picked this image is because it got a lot of fabric folds. I'm not so good at making fabric folds. I don't really know where they're supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like I know I need more practice doing it, and the only way to kind of get a natural feeling of where to place a fold in the fabric is just by keep on doing more and more paintings with these folded fabrics, and then hopefully intuitively one fine day it will just come more natural where to place a fold. I'm painting with my, I don't know if I should call it, I'm just gonna call it my Christmas gift then. I so love to have so many different art supplies available on my table. So I have found a spot on my working surface where when I'm not using my Robex palette, I put this box up and open the lid. So when I come in, there is like different art supplies from colored pencils to watercolor, oil pastel, gouache, soft pastels, what else? Yeah, graphite and cotillion blending pen, blending stuff. So it's just like everything at your fingertips. I really, really love that. I usually am a very tidy person, so I pack stuff away, you know, I don't like clutter so much. So the grab and go thing with having these art supplies at my fingertips is really sparking joy. I've been working on my scavenger hunt. I think I'm gonna do like a separate stream and then just name it scavenger hunt so I don't mix up two different things and make it too long upload. But I've been working on my scavenger hunt and it is just so cool having this multimedia box next to me so I could just grab pencil, you know. And then next to that box I have a jar with my micron pens and my brushes, and I use a round porcelain tray. It's actually an undercup for a plant porcelain pot. Is it called that? I think so. But it looks kind of weird because the pot in porcelain is like a solid cup. So this under tray is a bit unnecessary since you're not supposed to put water down there. So I just took that set apart, and now I'm really enjoying having this round porcelain tray on my working surface as like a stable go-to palette. I really love mixing on porcelain. It's like the washes dries up and behaves better. It's more like they don't pearl up, or what is it called when they bead up, I think they call it. Pigments don't bead up on a porcelain tray, so when it dries up you can really tell granulation. Also you can see like separations in pigments, and sometimes when you're painting I kind of forget that like the turquoise is also granular, and you know, I just kind of forget also the earth tones. Some of my earth tones are also granular, but it kind of shows up when I'm mixing my own greens. It shows up on this porcelain palette, so it's a good reminder. Robert Duvall, oh my god, I'm so gonna try and do a more likable painting of him. I think this way of painting might even train me a little bit to become more specific when doing I don't want to use the word portraits because it's not, you know, look-alike, or what's it called, but I think it's an awesome way of practicing, especially portraits, because I am looking at a picture of Robert Duvall and then I'm just winging it, you know, like letting my my own drawing take its own turn and its own life, because I think the thing about painting like a portrait, why I find it tediously and not fun, is because first of all you get like super annoyed when it doesn't look like the person, and second of all you need to look more at your picture, you know, your reference, than your drawing, so you don't have like an intuitive flow. Like when I'm adding in colors, it's very intuitive. It's like, oh, I want some there, I want this there, and I want to try that color on the skin tone, you know. It's like I'm just playing, and that's the fun I have. You know, that's why I watercolor because I find that intuitive process fun and super, super relaxing, because that's when I don't really think about other things than just what color to dip in next. So I think that what people are talking about when they're talking about being in the zone, and I don't feel like being in any sort of zone at all ever if I try and do a portrait, because I don't know, you just have to be like concentrated and focused, and you have to sometimes also lift off a good, damn good nose, because it's not the person's nose. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of my filling in colors is also based on luck. I like to work with a really wet brush, and I don't use a very small brush either. So when you're working like that, it's more based on kind of luck sometimes. And you also erase out most of the features when you're working like that. So here I'm going back in with colored pencils to replace some of the facial features, because as you can see, when it dries up, it gets this very washed out look. So here I'm sitting with a sharp craft knife, trying to scratch in some white areas on the paper, and suddenly it doesn't work. It's like it's a little bit hard to describe, but you kind of feel when you're out of control. So I put away the knife. I'm working on rough arches. That's the orange watercolor pad. I really love arches, so it's a surprise to me that I dislike working with the scraping craft knife on this particular paper. But what's fine to say about arches is that it doesn't tend to buckle on me, and it doesn't have a strange texture on the paper that forces the pigments to go in a linear direction, or you know, in a very particular direction. So I get that spreading out that I like so much. What else to say? Yeah, I just really like this cowboy theme. We don't, like I said, have cowboys in Denmark, so it's also really likable. You know, it's something to do with horses and ranch living, and that whole thing is just infatuating at the moment. Like the outdoors, hardworking, you know, that simple live. I don't even want to say simple because I think they are battling with some of the most strange things during their day. But I really think that these Western movies are something that I should rewatch. There is a lot of them, like Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood. I wouldn't mind watching that one more time. So yeah. Also this Stand. Oh my god, was that Bruce Willis? I don't know. The Last Stand, I think it's called. Thanks for watching.